People who are transgender do to protect themselves in the schoolyard when they're kids, to protect themselves in their communities as adults, and then later on in the workplace. Mara Keisling is good enough to join us now from the National Center for Transgender Equality. How difficult is it to make the decision to change your sex?
Well, Rick, it varies from person to person. For a lot of people, it's a difficult decision to do that. For a lot of people, it's difficult not to do it. But as you can see, watching what we just saw from Sean and his family, the courage and determination it takes either way, to either transition and to live true or to not, the determination and courage is just incredible.
When you're transgender, do you tend to notice the smirks, the stares, the looks?
Well, again, that varies from person to person. A lot of people don't notice them. A lot of people don't experience them, and a lot of us do notice them and are hurt tremendously by it.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe the way to ask the question is, how do you cope with that type of reaction, which is going to be, inevitable, unfortunately, in our times. Maybe not in the future, but the way America is right now.
Well, I think what all of us know we have to be doing is education, education, education. And as more people in America are getting to know us, are meeting one or more of us, and understanding that we aren't different from them, we are in fact them. We're from the same schools, the same churches, the same towns. We are them. And that makes it as more people understand that, that will make our lives substantially easier.
Are there physical challenges in terms of access to buildings, the confusion of trying to get through different lines? Tell me about that.
Well, one of the most difficult things trans people face is access to sex-segregated facilities. There are a lot of facilities in the United States that are very much segregated by gender, and
bathrooms, for example.
Bathrooms,
right?
For example, and that can be a real difficulty for trans people sometimes, and by the way, for other people besides trans people, for people who need custodial care and may have a custodian who has to go to the restroom with them who is of the opposite sex, for people who may have certain disabilities, for people who have young children. There's lots of reasons why sex-segregated facilities really aren't a practical long-term solution for the country, but it is particularly difficult for transgender people sometimes.
You know, in the gay community and in the lesbian community, there's always been this argument about nature versus nurture. Were you born that way, or somewhere along the line did something happen, or did you make the choice to become this way? If I asked you that question, how would you respond as a transgender?
I think I don't care. What I know is that I am who I am, and I am what I am, and I know that I need to have the right to have a job. I need to have the right to not be a victim of violence. I need to be able to use facilities that everybody needs to use. So, I know in my heart this isn't something I created for myself because I thought it would be interesting. This is something that's part of me. But again, whether it is or not, we should be able to have lives that we can live to our full potential.
Mara Keisling, good interview. Appreciate you being open and honest and candid about something that's obviously very personal to a lot of people.
Thanks so much, Rick.
We thank you. So you think that you are tolerant of homosexuality. Well, how do you feel when your kids are added into the equation? For example, would you leave your young son alone with a gay man if you needed to, as opposed to a straight man? Who would you choose? We ask people on the street that question. And then a call on the surface from our president.